असुर पिता भी, कि जहां तक मेरा प्रश्न कि ये बुद्धि तुम्हारी किसने दूषित की, तो प्रहलाद महाराज जवाब देते हैं कि मेरी बुद्धि दूषित नहीं हुई है, उल्टा मुझ पर तो गुरु की कृपा हुई है, श्री कृष्णा की कृपा हुई है। और मैंने ये सीखा है कि इस न मेरा कोई शत्रु है, न मैं किसी का शत्रु हूँ। वास्तव में श्री कृष्ण भगवान की हम नित्य दास हैं, और सिर्फ हम ही नहीं, सारे जीव ही कृष्ण भगवान के दास हैं। हम माया के प्रभाव में ना आके, हम एक दूसरे को अपना शत्रु मित्र न जान के, हम सभी भगवान के नित्य दास हैं, ये भावना हमें आनी चाहिए। और ये हमारा कर्तव्य है कि हम प्रभु की हमेशा भाव सेवा करें, और इससे हमें एकत्व की भावना आ जाती है, हम सब प्रभु के दास हैं, ये भावना आती है। और ये कब आएगी हमें, जबकि हम प्रभु की दिव्य भक्ति करें और उनकी सेवा करें। तो उन्होंने बताया है कि हम अपने इतनी योनियों में एक सिर्फ मनुष्य ही है, 84,000 योनियों में, लाख योनियों में, कि जो ऐसी भक्ति करके एकत्व में रह के अपने जीवन व्यतीत कर सकता है। तो प्रहलाद महाराज की ये बातें सुन के तो उनके पिता बहुत परेशान हो गए, और उनको कहा कि तुम बस यही हुआ कि जन्म जन्मांतर तक ये याद रखे प्रहलाद महाराज की बातें, और फिर प्रभु की कृष्ण भावना अमृत में रह के हम अपने सारे कलमेश को दूर कर सकते हैं। बस यही।
यस आंटी, थैंक यू सो मच, आपने इतना अच्छी तरह बताया मेन पॉइंट प्रहलाद महाराज का टीचिंग। थैंक यू सो मच कि भक्ति करने से फिर ये जो भेदभाव करते, ये मेरा फ्रेंड है, ये एनिमी है, वो नहीं होना
एक
चाहिए एक्चुअली ऐसा थिंकिंग। यस, we have to see everyone equally, but what we do is, oh, this is my friend, this is my enemy, but actually we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. So we're going to continue with text 15. Shri Narada Vachan
श्रीनारद उवाच
Etavad Brahmana Yuktva
तावत् ब्रह्मणायोक्त्वा
तवा
Virarama Mahamate
महामते
Tam Sanibhartasya Kupita
तं
तम सने भक्त्यस्य
सत्कृतिपूजितः
पिता
Sudino Rajasevaka.
सुदीनः राजसेवकः।
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The great Saint Narad Muni continued. The great soul Prahlāda Mahārāja became silent after saying this to his teachers, Shanda and Amarka, the seminal sons of Shukracharya. These so-called Brahmanas then became angry at him because they were servants of Hiranyakashipu. They were very sorry. And to chastise Prahlāda Mahārāja, they spoke as follows. The word Shukra means semen. The sons of Shukracharya were Brahmanas by birthright. But an actual Brahmana is one who possesses the Brahmanical qualities. The Brahmanas, Shanda and Amarka, being seminal sons of Shukracharya, did not actually possess real Brahmanical qualifications, for they engaged as servants of Hiranyakashipu. An actual Brahmana is very much satisfied to see anyone, not to speak of his disciple, become a devotee of Lord Krishna. So this is what a real Brahmana is, that he will see anyone who has become a devotee of Krishna is going to be happy. And of course, his own disciple is going to be happy. So here, the Shanda and Amarka are in fact getting upset at Prahlāda because he's such a great devotee. So this is showing that they're not actually Brahmanas. They're Brahmanas by birth, but not by qualification. Such brahmanas are meant to satisfy the Supreme Master. A brahmana is strictly prohibited from becoming a servant of anyone else, for that is the business of dogs and shudras. A dog must satisfy his master, but a brahmana does not have to satisfy anyone. He is simply meant to satisfy Krishna. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. That is the real qualification of a brahmana. So, real brahmana is a servant of Krishna. He understands that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and that we are all his servants. Because Shanda and Amarka were seminal brahmanas and had become servants of such a master as Hiranyakashipu, they unnecessarily wanted to chastise Prahlāda Mahārāja. So Prahlāda Maharaj is a Mahabhagavat, and for no reason they're taking up this position of chastising him. Aniyatam are vetram.
Aniyatamadevetram
Asmakam ayashaskara.
Asmakam ayashaskaraha
Kulangarasya durbuddhesh.
Kul angarasya durbuddheha
Chaturthosyo ditodamaha.
Chaturtasya uddito damaha.
Oh, please bring me a stick. This Prahlāda is damaging our name and fame. Because of his bad intelligence, he has become like a cinder in the dynasty of the demons. Now he needs to be treated by the fourth of the four kinds of political diplomacy. In political affairs, when a person disobediently agitates against the government, four principles are used to suppress him: legal orders, pacification, the offer of a post, or finally weapons. So here, like in political, how you politically try to win over another person. So here Prabhupada is explaining 4 ways. One is legally you try to put some action. No? Then otherwise you pacify by giving them a position, some kind of recognition. First is legal, second is pacification. You speak nicely to them, you try to negotiate something. If no, then you give them some kind of a recognition, some post. Or if nothing, then war, weapons. When there are no other arguments, he's punished. In logic, this is called argumentum ad baculum. When the two seminal brahmanas, Shanda and Amarka, failed to extract from Prahlāda Maharaj the cause of his having opinions different from those of his father, they called for a stick with which to chastise him to satisfy their master Hiranyakashipu. Because Shanda Amarka kept asking him, tell us who has come and given you these teachings. But Prahlāda Maharaj, he does not speak about how he got the teachings. He said it's mercy of Krishna. He didn't say, oh, Narad Muni gave me the teachings. He said it's by the mercy of Krishna that I am able to, I have this devotion. So because Prahlāda had become a devotee, they considered him to be contaminated by bad intelligence and to be the worst descendant in the family of demons. As it is said, where ignorance is bliss, it is folly to be wise. So Prabhupada is giving this. Where ignorance is bliss, it is folly to be wise. So they're all ignorant. And Prahlāda Maharaj is the wise one. And now they want to trouble him for his wisdom. In a society or family in which everyone is a demon, for someone to become a Vaishnava is certainly folly. Thus, Prahlāda Maharaj was charged with bad intelligence because he was among demons, including his teachers, who were supposedly Brahmanas. It may happen sometimes. We may get over-enthusiastic. We speak about Krishna consciousness to some people who don't like it, and then they might, in fact, retaliate. The members of our Krishna consciousness movement are in a position similar to that of Prahlāda Maharaj. All over the world, 99% of the people are godless demons, and therefore our preaching of Krishna consciousness, following in the footsteps of Prahlāda Maharaj, is always hampered by many impediments. because of their fault of being devotees. The American boys who have sacrificed everything for preaching Krishna consciousness are charged with being members of the CIA. It actually used to happen a lot when Prabhupada just started the movement. Then the devotees, they were so many times they would be arrested. There was charges against them unnecessarily. There was accusations that they are CIA. Different accusations are coming to them. Moreover, the seminal brahmanas in India who say that one can become a brahmana only if born in a brahmana family charge us with ruining the Hindu system of religion. Of course, the fact is that one becomes a brahmana by qualification, because we are training Europeans and Americans to become qualified and are awarding them Brahminical status. We are being charged with destroying the Hindu religion. So Prabhupada also faced a lot of criticism from the caste brahmanas, those who say that Brahman is only by birth, because Prabhupada is following Lord Chaitanya's order that anyone can be qualified to become a Brahman as long as one is following the system. Nonetheless, confronting all kinds of difficulties, we must spread the Krishna consciousness movement with great determination, like that of Prahlāda Mahārāja. In spite of being the son of the demon Hiranyakashipu, Prahlāda never feared the chastisements of the seminal Brahmana sons of a demoniac father. So just as Prahlāda Mahārāja is completely dependent on he's completely fearless at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada also, he faced so much opposition everywhere. He faced so much opposition, but he was fearless at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So can actually see because we are so fearful of this, fearful of that. So if we really want to become fearless, we need to take complete shelter of the Supreme Lord, completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. Caitaniya Caritamita.
Caitaniya Caritamita.
Chato yam kantaka druma.
Chato yam kantaka druma.
Yan mulon mula parashor.
Yat mula anmula parato.
Vishnor nalayator bakha.
Vishnu nalayata arbakaha.
This rascal Prahlāda has appeared like a thorn tree in a forest of sandalwood. To cut down sandalwood trees, an axe is needed, and the wood of the thorn tree is very suitable for the handle of such an axe. Lord Vishnu is the axe for cutting down the sandalwood forest of the family of demons, and this Prahlāda is the handle for that axe. Thorn trees generally grow in deserted places, not in sandalwood forests. But the seminal Brahmana Shanda and Amarka compared the dynasty of the Daitya Hiranyakashipu to a sandalwood forest and compared Prahlāda Mahārāja to a hard, strong thorn tree that could provide the handle of an axe. They compared Lord Vishnu to the axe itself. An axe alone cannot cut a thorn tree. It needs a handle which may be made of the wood of a thorn tree. So here, Shanda Marka, they are saying, oh, the dynasty of Hiranyakashipu is like sandalwood forest. So they are glorifying Hiranyakashipu. They are saying, Prahlāda Mahārāja, that Lord Vishnu, he is like the axe, the iron part. Now the axe has to have a handle, the wood part, and that they are saying is like Prahlāda Mahārāja. So thus the thorn tree of demoniac civilization can be cut to pieces by the axe of Vishnu Bhakti, devotional service to Lord Krishna. Some of the members of the demoniac civilization, like Prahlāda Mahārāja, may become the handle for the axe to assist Lord Vishnu, and thus the entire forest of demoniac civilization can be cut to pieces. So it's by devotional service given by the devotee that we can cut down our demoniac tendencies in our heart. Yeah. We have divine qualities also. We also have the demoniac qualities. So to get rid of those bad qualities in our heart, we need the acts of devotional service. The devotees' instructions, they act on us like that when we hear from the pure devotee to cut down our demoniac tendencies. Ititam vividhopayer.
इति तं विविधो उपाये
Vishayam tarjanadivi.
विषयन्तर्जनादिभिः
Prahlādam grahayam asa.
प्रह्लादं ग्राहयाम आस
Trivargasyopapadanam.
त्रिवर्गस्य उपपादनम्
Shanda and Amarka, the teachers of Prahlāda Maharaj, chastised and threatened their disciple in various ways and began teaching him about the paths of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. This is the way they educated him. In this verse, the words praradam grahayam as are important. The words grahayam as literally mean that they tried to induce Prahlāda Maharaj to accept the paths of dharma, artha, and kam, religion, economic development, and sense gratification. So Prahlāda is a pure devotee. He's completely on the transcendental platform. And here they want to teach him material knowledge, dharma, artha, kama. So people are generally preoccupied with these three concerns without interest in the path of liberation. Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlāda Maharaj, was simply interested in gold and sense enjoyment. The word Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu refers to soft cushions and bedding on which people enjoy sense gratification. So, what does Hiranyakashipu mean?
bed of gold
Gold.
Gold. Hiranya is gold. Yeah. And Kashipu?
bed
Soft bed.
is the bed
करना
Soft,
गोल्ड को
soft
यूज
bed.
करना
Yeah. Gold is Hiranya and Kashipu, soft bed.
yeah
हाँ
so
So we like that. We like to have money because we can enjoy more. So this is like demoniac tendencies, like Hiranyakashipu. So here Shanda and Amarka, because so that they don't lose their jobs, they are trying to convert Prahlāda Maharaj now. They want him to become like Hiranyakashipu, just so that Hiranyakashipu doesn't get angry at them, doesn't stop their pay. So the word Prahlāda, however, refers to one who is always joyful and understanding Brahman, Brahmabhuta Prasanatma. Prahlāda means Prasanatma, always joyful. So what does Prahlāda mean?
प्रसन्न आत्मा
Prasanatma. Yeah, always joyful. So Prahlāda was always joyful in worshipping the Lord, but in accordance with the instructions of Hiranyakashipu, the teachers were interested in teaching him about material things. So we can see here, Hiranyakashipu, he has everything, so much sense gratification, so much opulence, and yet he's not satisfied. He's not happy. Prahlāda Maharaj, just a small boy, 5 years old, is completely happy because he's a pure devotee. He's engaging in the service of the Lord. He's worshipping the Lord. And that's why he's joyful. So we can see who do we want to choose. You want to become joyful, then we have to engage in devotional service. So materialistic persons think that the path of religion is meant for improving the material conditions. The materialist goes to a temple to worship many varieties of demigods just to receive some benediction, to improve his material life. He goes to a sadhu or so-called swami to take advantage of an easy method for achieving material opulence. In the name of religion, the so-called sadhus try to satisfy the senses of the materialists by showing them shortcuts to material opulence. Sometimes they give some talisman or blessing. Sometimes they attract materialistic persons by producing gold. Then they declare themselves God, and foolish materialists are attracted to them for economic development. As a result of this process of cheating, others are reluctant to accept a religious process, and instead they advise people in general to work for material advancement. This is going on all over the world, not only now, but since time immemorial. No one is interested in moksha, liberation. So Prabhupada is explaining what is this religion, dharma that the average person does. Goes to the temple to worship the demigods, to ask for material boon. Why? To enjoy more. Or goes to some person, asks for something material boon. Why? To enjoy more. And we think this is religious. Then other people, they feel, oh, what's going on? This is not religion. And they say completely don't try to understand what is spirituality. Just work hard and then get what you want, you know. So, but the idea to understand is that we are not the body, we are the soul. How can we get out of here? How can we get out of the material world? Because we keep asking material boons, because we want to keep staying in the material world, then we are creating more and more bodies for us in the material world. There are 4 principles: dharma, religion, artha, economic development, calm, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation. People accept religion to become materially opulent. And why should one be materially opulent? For sense gratification. Thus, people prefer these 3 margas, the 3 paths of materialistic life. No one is interested in liberation and Bhagavad Bhakti. Devotional service to the Lord is above even liberation. So this is where we stop. We say we are going to do some pious activity so that we can get some good karma, so that we can enjoy more. But all this is still going to keep us here in the material world. We will still not be able to understand our real identity as spirit souls. Only when we take up Bhagavad Bhakti, devotional service, can we actually begin to understand who we truly are. Therefore, the process of devotional service, Krishna consciousness, is extremely difficult to understand. This will be explained later by Prahlāda Mahārāja. The teachers Shanda and Amarka tried to induce Prahlāda Mahārāja to accept the materialistic way of life, but actually their attempt was a failure, because they're trying to convince Prahlāda Mahārāja, whereas Prahlāda Mahārāja is a Mahabhagavad. You know, we were hearing how he is seeing Krishna, he is laughing. When he sees Krishna going, he's crying. He's already has so much love for Krishna. His hair is standing on end. He has so much emotion for Krishna, so much ecstasy. So, of course, Shanda and Amarka are unsuccessful to change Prahlāda Mahārāja. Any comments, questions?
Shilpaji, I just have one question. In the 13th, no, in the 14th, in the last one, there was written that जिन्होंने पूर्व जन्म में तथा इस जन्म में पुण्य कर्म किए हैं, who has done the pious activities, and जिनके पाप कर्म पूरी तरह से उन्मूलित हो चुके हैं, जो ब्रह्म के द्वैत से मुक्त हैं, वे ही संकल्प पूर्वक मेरी सेवा में संलग्न रह सकते हैं. So here we are saying that the piety, the punya karma, the pious activities, it is in the 14th. It is in the 14th, the last. In the purport, the last.
Okay.
So what I'm just trying to say is that right now we are saying that we get indulged in the pious activities and then we forget, and then so but then here it is saying कि अगर pious activity करी ही नहीं है तो फिर कई बार realization कैसे होगा?
So we have
So
to
then
understand.
how do we do this?
Thank you. So we have to understand what pious activity is Krishna speaking about here. He's not speaking about ordinary material piety, because material piety can never give us bhakti. No matter how much material piety we go on doing, we can never get bhakti with that. This is agyata sukriti. This is
Okay.
spiritual piety. So, the devotees, they had read this verse and they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, that means in previous lives we were pious, we acted piously. And that's why we are able to take up devotional service in this life. Prabhupada said, I am creating your piety. So, means to show that by serving a pure devotee, actually we can begin our devotional life. Our devotional life begins by service to a devotee. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, yes. That's perfect.
Okay, thank you. So we are going to go on to, sorry, I'm going to change. We are on 80.
19.
17. We just did
Yes,
17.
yeah.
Okay. This we did 18. We just read 18. Yeah. So now 19. Tata enam gurur gyatva.
Tata enam guru gyatva.
Gyata gyeya chatushtayam.
Gyata guru chatushtayam.
Daityendram darshayam asa.
Daitya indram darshayam asa.
Matra mrishtam alankritam.
Matramishtam
Alamkritam.
After some time, the teacher Shanda and Amarka thought that Prahlāda Maharaj was sufficiently educated in the diplomatic affairs of pacifying public leaders, appeasing them by giving them lucrative posts, dividing and ruling over them, and punishing them in cases of disobedience. Then, one day, after Prahlād's mother had personally washed the boy and dressed him nicely with sufficient ornaments, they presented him before his father. So this is what they were teaching him, all politics, how to rule the people. It is essential for a student who's going to be a ruler or king to learn the 4 diplomatic principles. There's always rivalry between a king and his citizens. Therefore, when a citizen agitates the public against the king, the duty of the king is to call him and try to pacify him with sweet words, saying, "You are very important in the state. Why should you disturb the public with some new cause for agitation?" So if the citizen is not pacified, the king should then offer him some lucrative post as a governor or minister, any post that draws a high salary, so that he may be agreeable. If the enemy still goes on agitating the public, the king should try to cease dissension in the enemy's camp. But to create dissension in the enemy's camp. But if he still continues, the king should employ argumentum ad baculum, severe punishment, by putting him in jail or placing him before a firing squad. So this is political science, that if there is some kind of revolt happening, some person is creating too much disturbance, first call him, speak to him nicely, make him understand. Not listening, try to give him a good post or good salary or something. Not listening, try to create divide and rule, create some disturbance in his support system. And that's also not working. Then the last thing is using the weapons, punishment. The teachers appointed by Hiranyakashipu taught Prahlāda Maharaj how to be a diplomat so that he could rule over the citizens very nicely. So they are thinking, okay, now we taught him so nicely. Now Hiranyakashipu is going to be very happy with us because now we are teaching him all this politics and diplomacy. Padayo patitam balam.
Padayo patitam
Pratinandya Shishasura.
Pratinanda Asisha Asuraha.
Parish Vajya Chiram Dorbhyam.
Parishvajjanchirantodyam
Paramam apa nirvritim.
Paramam apanirvritam.
When Hiranyakashipu saw that his child had fallen at his feet and was offering obeisances, as an affectionate father, he immediately began showering blessings upon the child and embraced him with both arms. A father naturally feels happy to embrace his son, and Hiranyakashipu became very happy in this way. Prahlāda Maharaj, because he was very obedient, he respected his father a lot. So he's bowing down, and then Hiranyakashipu is feeling happy, embracing. Aropyankam avagraya.
Aropya ankam avradhaya
Murdhani ashrukalam bube.
Murdhani Shrukala Ambhi
Ashinchan viksad vaktram.
Akinchandikasatvaktram
Idam amha yudhishthira.
Idam aha yudhishtharaha.
Narad Muni continued, my dear King Yudhishthir, Hiranyakashipu seated Prahlāda Maharaj on his lap and began smelling his head. With affectionate tears gliding down from his eyes and moistening the child's smiling face, he spoke to his son as follows. So he's feeling so emotional. If a child or a disciple falls at the feet of the father or spiritual master, the superior responds by smelling the head of the subordinate. Hiranyakashipu Vacha. Prahlāda nuchayatam tata.
Prahlāda nuchayatam tata.
Svaditam kinchid uttamam.
Svaditam kinchid uttamam.
Kale netavata yushman.
Kale netavata yushman.
Yad ashikshat guror bhavan.
Yad ashikshat guror bhavan.
Hiranyakashipu said, my dear Prahlāda, my dear son, O long-lived one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge. Now he wants to ask again, what you learned today. In this verse, Hiranyakashipu inquires from his son what he has learned from his guru. Prahlāda Maharaj's gurus were of two kinds, Shanda and Amarka, the sons of Shukracharya in the seminal disciplic succession, were the gurus appointed by his father. But his other guru was the exalted Narad Muni, who had instructed Prahlāda when Prahlāda was within the womb of his mother. Prahlāda Maharaj responded to the inquiry of his father with the instructions he had received from his spiritual master Narad. Thus, there was again a difference of opinion, because Prahlāda Maharaj wanted to relate the best thing he had learned from his spiritual master, whereas Hiranyakashipu expected to hear about the politics and diplomacy. Prahlāda had learned from Shanda and Amarka. Now the dissension between the father and son became increasingly intense as Prahlāda Maharaj began to say what he had learned from his guru Narad Muni. Because Hiranyakashipu is also asking, what's the best thing you have learned? Now, of course, then Prahlāda Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord. So he's going to speak about devotional service. Whereas Hiranyakashipu, according to Hiranyakashipu, the best thing to learn is about politics. So both are looking at from their point of view, Sometimes it happens to us also, no? There may be, what do we say? Because of difference in opinion, because of different perspectives that we have, may come about an argument or, because of how we are looking at things differently. Hiranyakashipu is looking, best knowledge is politics. Prahlāda Maharaj, best knowledge is devotional service. So it creates tension between them, dissension. Of course, Prahlāda Maharaj, for him, he does not think of Hiranyakashipu as his enemy. He already said, no enemy, no friend. It's Hiranyakashipu who's thinking, oh, my enemy. So, shall we get into this verse today? I think we should tomorrow. What do you all think? This is
This is a
about
very
devotional
good
service.
yeah. So if you want, we can maybe just recite it, and we can
Recite,
do
okay.
the we can just recite, and maybe we
Sure.
can do that tomorrow.
Shri Prahlāda Vachan,
Shri Prahlāda Vachan,
Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu,
Shravanam
Kirtanam Vishnu,
Vishnu,
Smaranam Pada Sevanam,
Smaranam
Smaranam Pada
Sevanam,
Sevani,
Archanam Vandanam Dasyam,
Archanam
Vandanam
Vandanam,
Dasyam,
Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam,
Sakyam
Satyam
Atmanivedanam,
Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu,
Iti
Iti
Pumsarpita Vishnu,
Bhaktischin Navalakshana,
Bhaktis
Bhakti Jen
Chitravalakshana,
Lakshana,
Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha,
Kriyeta Bhagavati
Bhagavate
Sadha,
Vidha,
Tanmanye Dhitam Uttamam.
Tatmanye
Tanmanayi
Adhitam
Vidha,
Uttamam.
Prahlāda Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So we may think somebody is learned, educated, if one has gotten many degrees and material education. But here Prahlāda Maharaj is saying, who's the most learned person? Who has the complete knowledge? Who is it? What is Prahlāda Maharaj saying?
Who can do the Navda Bhakti, the 9 ways.
Yeah, one who's engaged in devotional service, the pure devotee. What are the 9 processes?
One who is Shravanam, who hears, then Kirtan,
Yes.
then Smaranam, who remembers, then Padasevanam, then Archanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam.
Atmanivedanam, yeah. And there was Vandanam, offering prayers.
Vandanam, Dasyam.
Yeah. After Archanam comes Vandanam, offering
Vandanam.
prayers. Okay. Thank you so much. So we'll stop here. Did you want to add anything? We can continue reading tomorrow.
Yeah, we can continue.
Okay. Srila Prahlāda Maharaj ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.